Hello and welcome to this talk for the Science on the Sofa program within this year's edition of the Glasgow Science Festival. I'm very grateful to have been once again invited to speak at this year's edition of the festival. My name is Mirosław Michał Sadowski, and I'm a Doctor of Law and a lecturer at the University of Strathclyde, where I am, amongst other things, the program coordinator for International Maritime Law Master's Program that will be officially launched in September 2025. And it is my great pleasure today to speak about a particular legal interest of mine, that is the interest in piracy. I've been interested in piracy quite like here, the boy in this picture, since I've been reading various adventure books and stories and watching the different movies, including back in the day, Pirates of the Caribbean when they first came out. When once I became a lawyer and an academic, my interest in piracy stayed with me, and I've been looking for ways in which to investigate these two particular interests of mine. Hence, last year I have published an article that speaks about these intersections between law and piracy, specifically using three images of pirates within the law. So pirates as kings of the seven seas, pirates as freedom fighters, and pirates and of course their lost treasures. And as you are very well aware, these images function not only in law, however, in general, in our collective minds of today, shaped both by stories of the bygone era, as well as the more modern depictions of pirates and piracy, which stem from the late 19th and early 20th century United States. I will show a few of these images today that have shaped how we collectively now perceive pirates. But let's first start with the first image, that of the pirates as kings of the seven seas. We often have this image of piracy as relating to the 17th and 18th century, which of course is as true. However, piracy has been with us for much longer. Already in the ancient times, we have the first laws regulating the matters of piracy, and the concept introduced by the ancient Roman thinker Cicero that pirates are enemies of all mankind. So the first time and something similar akin to an Interpol red notice was issued was actually towards a pirate. This pirate was perhaps the most successful pirate of all time, Henry Avery, an Englishman who in 1695 has captured two Mughal, coming from the present day India, ships on their way to Mecca, getting away with about, at that time, 1,600,000 worth of goods. Those were about equal to 97 million pounds in present day value. The Mughal Empire demanded that the English investigate, and as such, a first something akin to red notice was issued. However, Henry Avery and his treasure, most of which he got away with himself after dealing with his crew, has disappeared completely, and to this day we do not know where he or his treasure actually ended up. But pirates are these completely illegal sailors in their activities were only one type of piracy. Next to them we had buccaneers, which were usually disgruntled sailors, soldiers, who, while engaging in pirate activities, were at some points in time actually engaged by the different navies or commercial ships for certain activities, usually directed towards other colonial powers present at the seas at that time. You also had corsairs, so a particular type of pirates from North Africa, from cities coming such as present-day Tunis, for example, which which functioned back in the day as a pirate republics, in a way semi-governing republics functioning within the broader Ottoman Empire. Quite interestingly, the first foreign intervention of the United States was towards the North African corsairs, which at the beginning of the 19th century, after which they have finished their operations. And finally, we had privateers, including the likes of Drake, who had official letters from the monarch, letters of marque, who allowed them to engage in pirate activities against a perceived enemy of a particular country. So, which meant usually that privateers were either English or French, operating against the Spanish interests, especially in the Caribbean. Privateering was abolished in the 19th century by International Convention. However, there is one country in the world which still allows for privateers to operate, and that is the United States, according to its constitution, which permits in Article 8 the use of privateers. And actually, there has been talk about using privateers against, for example, Chinese interests in the South China Sea. But let's go on to the second image, not of pirates as fighters for freedom. So of course, we all have this image as pirates, as freedom fighters. Well, why? Because their organization, social organization, both on and off the deck, was much more democratic than the one that was prevalent both in Europe and other places around the world at that time. Pirates had their famous pirate codes. They have even labor law provisions which allowed compensation for example, lost limbs during battle. And as such, they are often considered a proto-democratic social organization. They're also engaged in establishment of various colonies, including the famous Tortuga, which is here on the map. The map is not mine. However, the researcher who prepared it agreed for it to be reproduced. And Tortuga existed in real life. And we also had Libertalia, so the ideal pirate utopia, the ideal version of a pirate democratic, or even some would say communist society, which is said to have functioned on Madagascar, which at that time was heavily populated by pirates. And last but not least, we have, of course, the questions of pirates and lost treasures. So, pirates actually quite rarely engaged in burying their treasures, even though some of the most famous ones are known because of such actions. However, the number of naval battles that they have participated in has resulted in a great number of ships being buried under the sea today. Together with other naval battles as well as other catastrophes, well, this has led to about 3 million shipwrecks waiting to be found in the seas and waters around the world. Many of them, of course, carrying treasures. Such is the case of the San Jose galleon. Shipwrecked off the coast of Colombia in a battle between the Spanish and the British Navy, the San Jose galleon is said to have been carrying one of the largest treasures ever to have sunk, with its value estimated at 20 billion, that's proper billions, not American millions, with 20 billion US dollars. However, it is now subject to legal battle as to who gets this treasure between the governments of Colombia, where the ship went down, the Spanish government, where the ship was going with gold and other precious metals as taxes, as well as the indigenous groups from Bolivia whose ancestors were tasked with mining those rare metals. The actual case, how it will end, remains to be seen. However, we know that Colombia has commenced excavations of that galleon last year. Well, thank you for listening. In case of any questions, my personal details are included on the LinkedIn profile that can be found here under this QR code. I hope you will get in touch, and I hope you'll take a look at the full version of my paper. Until the next time, until the next edition of GSF. Bye bye.